We remember the glory, the flag planting, the perfect lines recited for history. But strip away the nostalgia, and you find a terrifyingly different reality. The 1969 landing wasn't a precision operation. It was a desperate, analog improvisation held together by sheer nerve. Behind the celebration was a control room running on less computing power than your toaster. 3 minutes before touchdown, the onboard computer screamed a 12:02 program alarm. In plain English, the system was crashing. It was overloaded, choking on data, essentially telling Armstrong to abort the mission immediately. Mission Control had seconds to decide if this was a glitch or a death sentence. The computer was steering them straight into a football field-sized crater filled with boulders. Armstrong took manual control, skimming across the surface like a skipping stone. He wasn't landing. He was hunting for a parking spot while the fuel light blinked. They had less than 20 seconds of fuel left before the engine would cut out. Survival often comes down to the absurd. After the moonwalk, Aldrin looked down and realized he'd snapped off the engine arm circuit breaker with his bulky backpack. No switch, no engine, no trip home. NASA didn't save them. A felt tip pen did. Aldrin jammed it into the hole to engage the circuit. The hero's welcome had a dark twist. NASA was terrified of moon germs, a potential biological apocalypse. So instead of hugs, the astronauts were shoved into a sealed Airstream trailer. They spent their first weeks back on Earth treated like biological weapons, staring at the world they saved through thick glass. The flags have likely been bleached white by radiation, but the footprints remain perfectly crisp. Without wind or rain, the moon preserves our history in stasis. It's a silent museum of our greatest gamble. We look back at the moon and see destiny. They looked back at Earth and realized how fragile home really is.